Welcome everyone to episode 207 of Thrive by Additive-Free Lifestyle. We're Tracy and Joe, and we are on a mission to help people uncover the truths and question things about topics they may not yet understand. And today we actually want to talk to you about sulfites. So we're keeping this episode as short and sweet as possible, although there is a little bit of information to cover. So let's get right into it. We have our app, obviously, as we have heard. We've talked about our app many times on this show now. We've advertised it. So please, if you don't have our app, that's a really great place to start to learn and understand about additives. But it is an app for many different reasons. So go back and listen to that show. Do you remember what number that show was, Joe, where we spoke about our app? 205?
Yeah.
205. Yep. All right. So go back and listen to episode 205 if you have not done so already, because you must have our app on your phone to make food shopping so much easier. All right, sulfites, let's get into it. This was an additive I knew nothing about when we started living additive-free. Nothing at all.
Take a deep breath. Hey, Trace.
Or maybe not.
Breath. All right, so sulfites. It's spelt a little bit differently depending on where you live. We spell it with a PH in Australia and New Zealand. You can also find it with an F as well, and it comes in the numbers around starting with a 2. Not all the 200s, but really from 220 to 228 are probably your main culprits of sulfites. It's heavily linked to asthma attacks, respiratory breathing problems, a wheeze, hay fever-like symptoms, so maybe a runny nose, itchy eyes, red rosy cheeks, just a nasal drip, a snuffle.
Yeah.
And
rash on their chest.
Yeah. Yes. And, allergies as well, which are very similar. And like you said, Trace, a rash, which is kind of like an allergy as well. So I have a lot of girlfriends that drink wine and they get a red chest and they're like, oh, it's just from the wine. And you're like, no, babe, that's from the sulfites in the wine.
Yeah. I've got a friend who does, and her cheeks flare up and her chest goes red. And she actually knows it's from the sulfites and they still drink it. So whatevs.
Yes. Okay, so now, oh dear, when it comes to the Food Standard Australia New Zealand safety guide, there's different amounts of sulfites that can be put into different products, and we're not going to categorize them or we'll be here all day. But basically, there's a certain amount of meg that they can put in this range of products, and there's a certain amount of meg that they can put in the next range of products, and then the next range of products. And it can go from low to high depending on what product that is. Now, sulfur dioxide, legally, because it's an allergen, it does have to be listed on the ingredients listing, just like gluten or other allergens as well. Like you generally see them in bold writing underneath the ingredients listing. But sulfur only needs to be listed if it's greater than 10 meg per kilo. So if it's under that, it doesn't actually need to be declared.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
So even though it's a known issue,
yes,
and even though it states on the Australia New Zealand Standards website that it's a known issue for asthmatics,
yes,
it doesn't have to be listed if it's under a certain amount.
Correct.
Right. That makes total sense, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh God, now I'm coughing.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. We know it's concerning for asthmatics. Now, I know that your children have asthma or had asthma. Did any doctor ever ask you, when you've gone in and their asthma attacks going crazy, hey, here's an additive that you might like to avoid. It's called sulfur dioxide. Its numbers are this, because it's known to cause issues with asthmatics.
Never, ever. No, in fact, they'd quite often be offered a Super Duper or something ridiculous, or an apple juice that has sulfur dioxide in it.
Right. Oh my God, it just gets worse.
Yeah. We've got a lot of work to do. So it's definitely an additive that we do steer clear of. It will come up with a red sad face if you use our additive scanner in our Additive-Free Lifestyle app. And it's one that that's actually like really toxic to your health.
Yeah.
So it's found in grapes. They actually sit the grapes on sulfur pads before they go to market to preserve
All the
the
way from the
grapes.
farm, all the way to the supermarket. They're sitting
Mhm.
on those sulfur pads.
Yep. So, and if you have a look at your grape packet, it
Mhm.
will say contains sulfur dioxide along the top strip of your plastic bag that the grapes come in. That it won't.
And I think, do you remember as kids, grapes never came like that? They were like apples, and you just would put them in a bag yourself. And I
Yeah.
think that's why, because now it's an allergen, they legally have to. So it's obviously above that level seeping into those grapes. And that's why they come in a bag now, because it has to have that warning of sulfites on there.
Interesting. Never thought of that, but yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why do bananas and stuff come in plastic now?
No, I don't
It's
know.
just so unnecessary. Anyway, side topic. As we said, it's found in wine. You can get preservative-free wine. So if you love your wine, go head to Dan Murphy's and grab some preservative-free stuff. Or if you want to support small business, head to organicwines.com.au if for Australia, and you can get beautiful preservative-free wine there. You can get, talking about wine, because I know people love wine, is you can get preservative-free red wine a lot easier than you can get white wine.
Is that because it is a naturally in grapes?
I don't know why, Trace. I just know you can.
Okay. I don't drink wine, so this is all new to me. I'm just asking the questions.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. It's found in processed meat. So like your ham, deli meat, I don't know, cabana, different things. Not found in all of them, but it's often found in processed meat. It's often found in corned beef. It's very, very, very common in sausages and pre-made burgers. So that one's preservative 223. And yeah, you'll generally always find 223 in sausages and pre-made burgers.
Yeah.
So pre-made
I've got
frozen.
another question.
Yeah.
I've got another question. Sorry. Oh, now it's gone. Keep going.
Shorty episode track. Pre-made frozen meals, like from the frozen section of the supermarket, like you'll generally find preservative 223 in them. Dried fruit. Super common in dried fruit. Your apricots should not be bright orange. Your apricots should be brown and quite ugly looking. Yeah. And the reason they're bright orange is because of the preservative, the sulfur dioxide in there.
And so that includes like the little apricot bites and stuff as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the bars, like you get apricot bars and
muesli bars.
Yeah.
With dried fruit in it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And desiccated coconut.
Yes.
So like lots of healthy bliss balls and, things and raw slices like that have desiccated coconut in there. The desiccated coconut's probably full of sulfur dioxide.
Yeah. Okay. So to avoid it, we want to be choosing organic. And we definitely know that you can choose organic in the supermarket and there's options there. So you don't need to head to some, store down the street. You can buy and shop all in one place. We've definitely bought organic, preservative-free coconut, dried fruits. Like they're more and more popular, which is great.
Yeah, they are. The other one is cordial as well. We don't personally buy cordial here, but I was doing some research and oh my gosh, I was really shocked actually to how basically all cordials in the supermarket contained this preservative.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. And dips is another one.
Yes.
Super common in dips and super common in pharmaceutical products.
Yeah. Okay. Our medicines.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So my question was, right, we've spoken about asthma, but what if you've just got like bronchitis, not just because it's pretty serious, right? But what if you've got another type of respiratory issue happening? Are we recommending that people try and avoid this sulfur dioxide, given we know it causes respiratory issues? I mean, I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor either, but I suppose it's not going to hurt, is it?
So I just want everyone to understand we speak a lot about asthma and how asthmatics should avoid it. But if you do have someone that that might be elderly even, that has that sort of respiratory issue or that cough that just won't go away, those types of things, just think about that when you're purchasing products, or maybe you might like to even sit them down or check their medications and see if there's a different brand or something different they can go on, because it could very well be that the sulfur dioxide is not helping their problem at all, and it could actually be contributing to them. So just, again, get curious and get thinking.
Yeah, the other one's nosebleeds as well.
Right.
Yeah. So remember in our Additive-Free Made Easy course, one of our students, they lived on, oh gosh, this was
it was an apricot farm.
It was apricots.
Yeah.
And she grew up as a young child on an apricot farm. And when they were drying the apricots full of sulfur dioxide,
the whole barn.
Yeah, she would get ear bleeds and nosebleeds. And her parents would be like, "Oh, it's all good, babe. It's just sulfur dioxide. Don't stress."
Like it was nothing.
And she grew up that way. So look, I think as well, nosebleeds too. I mean, I'm sure there's other side effects or reasons and different things happening as well. But I just think that it's just worth looking into. And it's not a big deal to actually remove sulfites from your diet. It's not in products that you can't easily swap out.
Yeah.
And, it's not that hard of an additive to avoid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So step 1, get our app. Step 2, avoid these if you can. And step 3, keep being curious around what food you're eating and what ingredients are in your food.
Yeah, if you've got an asthmatic friend or someone that does have a persistent cough or nosebleeds or whatever it might be, please share this episode with them. We would love that. And help them out. I need to do this myself, actually, because I know a little girl that's friends with my daughter that probably doesn't know this information. So I'm going to do that myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Trace, and everybody listening, we will be back next week with another episode, and we'll talk to you then.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.